No, yeah. So the first up to bat we have is Guns of Icarus. It's a pretty cool game. We've been playing it for several months, and we can kind of give you a good perspective on it. Guns of Icarus is a steampunk-style game. It's currently multiplayer only, so if you don't care for multiplayer games, you're more single-player type, then you might want to just keep your eye on it for now. It focuses primarily on airship combat. It's either first or third person, so it kind of gives you some control there. And each airship is controlled by multiplayer, candidates over online. And there's 4 people per airship, and they all take a specific role. So there's a captain role, so you'd be primarily responsible for steering and guiding the ship. There's an engineering role, which will allow you to repair items on the ship, whether it be the balloon, which is responsible for keeping the airship afloat, the engines, which are responsible for moving the vehicle, the weaponry. So if for some reason you are attacked by another crew, the engineer's job would be to get those weapons online. And finally, there's the gunner position, and he has perks designated for ammunition to do damage to other gunships. There's several game types. There's standard deathmatch game types where the object is to you score by taking the opposite team's gunship out of the sky. Lots of strategies available. There's several types of gunships. All have pretty unique names, and they all have some of them are larger, some of them are smaller, some of them have better maneuverability, speed, etc. And it's a fairly fun game. Currently, not so currently, but in February of 2012. Guns of Icarus had completed successfully their Kickstarter project. They initially wanted 10 grand. They pulled 35. Looks like 1,200 backers. You can see it's pretty unique. What's the reason I guess we're talking about it post completion is that they have now. They're offering a single-player component that's currently in development, which you can purchase directly from them while they're working on it, and it's going to be in adventure mode. You can donate through PayPal currently from their website here, and there's supposed to be a lot of DLC and other stuff thrown in. So that being said, based on what you guys heard, and Justin has played, and he has maybe a better idea. Give some additional commentary. But what do you guys think of Guns of Icarus?
Well, a quick side note is it's not a single-player mode, it's an adventure mode that can be played cooperatively. So you can play, I think, single-player if you'd like to, but I believe you can actually play up to 16 players altogether, so you could be running 4 ships in it.
Wow, well, sorry about that.
This looks pretty cool. I'm checking out the screenshots, and some of those screenshots look amazing. Just the scale of it all, and you had me at steampunk, Jared. So it's steampunk, and he said airships. So it's like, okay, 2 out of 2. That's pretty good so far. And Justin, I see you playing it on Steam all the time. So I figure it's got something to it. It's probably half decent.
Yeah, on a weekly basis. I think Justin and I, put in quite a bit of time. We've got a lot of friends that play too, so we even have a little clan that we've got going. And so
what's your clan called?
Go ahead, Justin. You can.
We're called Boom currently.
Boom?
Yeah, you can make up your own little. They have to be 4 digits or less, and. Yeah, you can make your own little clans in the game.
Are there boarding actions in this game?
No, and there will not be in the adventure mode either. That is something that a lot of people ask about, but I think that would just throw in a whole
It does.
other
doesn't it?
can of worms for the developers if they allow that, right?
It becomes either a shooter or a shooter with melee combat or just melee combat. It's like then you're adding all these new mechanics, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I can understand that.
I think that Muse, the developers, should team up with Torn Banner, who make Chivalry, and just combine them into one awesome game where you can like kick people off of your airship. That'd be fun.
So
It is like-
isn't quite Assassin's Creed 4 in the air.
No.
Not quite.
No. You can walk and climb ladders.
But you cannot board, other vessels. But the combat's fantastic. Really.
You can jump off of your own ship, though.
You can.
But you'll just respawn back into your ship.
But it's
And I
funny.
assume there's no zombies in this game, right?
No zombies.
Uh,
The first
I have-
week without a zombie game. Sorry, the internet.
they don't get me there anymore. No, I just have a quick questions for you guys that have played it a lot. You mentioned the different roles that you get in the ship, obviously, and every time someone mentions that, I get like, I wonder if one role is going to be obviously more fun than the other, or do you guys feel like it's balanced enough that I can just go and be the engineer and still have fun
Oh, yeah.
as the guy who's being the gunner, or because I don't want to be just like, your role is to mop the floors of the ship. That's your
Poop
role,
deck.
right? Yeah, poop deck.
No, the great thing is anyone can do anything on the ship. It's just whatever role you pick, you get more tools in your tool belt to do that specific task. So, if I'm a pilot, I get more abilities that a pilot would use when steering the ship. However, if need be, I also get to choose one engineering item and one gunner item. And then so that way I can hop on, like, say like Jared's really good about, if he's a pilot, he'll know, like, he started as an engineer, so sometimes he hops off of the wheel, pulls out his hammer and starts healing up, like, the balloon or something. Or you could, like, jump on a gun if you have to. And anyone can do any of these things. Typically, most of the time, if you are a pilot, you're pretty much always going to be sticking behind the wheel. But the engineers and gunners, they'll be swapping back and forth because sometimes it's like, as an engineer, there's nothing to repair. You can buff items to make, like, the engines run faster or guns shoot better. But as an engineer, if you guys aren't taking much damage, you might as well be on a gun and start shooting. At the same time, if you're under a lot of heavy fire, the gunners might have to pull out a wrench or hammer or whatever they have to help out the engineers.
Well, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was worried, like, I don't want to be stuck on one thing and not being able to shoot or something. But anyway, for those who haven't, tried this game, or, like myself, I guess there are good news about it, like the price. Someone mentioned something about the price.
Yes, sir. To kind of sum this puppy up, humblebundle.com, and they have, remember, humblebundle.com once fantastic for supplying people with reasonably priced games and donating those funds to charity. They actually have a dedicated store, which has items that a lot more items, and they change at will. And currently, it's $3.75.
So there is no excuse to play this game now.
There is not, and it's
I
fantastic.
have no excuse to play with you and be the guy who cleans the poop deck. No.
Remi, you should play too. We need to actually. This would be fun. A fun game where we could all form a certain role on the ship, and then we could record the entire thing and put it up. We've been talking about doing this.
We should do that.
It's great too if you're not even that into like first-person frantic shooters, because this game is much more about finesse and like timing. It's not like Call of Duty, where it's just run and gun. So I think a lot of people can enjoy this game. Really great teamwork game, like Jared said.
Yeah, that Humble sale sounds like a steal. The regular price for the game is $15, which is already pretty good. It's not going to break the bank or anything. So that $375 you said that's pretty cheap.
$375, and if you like the $375 base game, it might be a good time to pay the extra $10 directly to the developers and get that adventure mode to to go through that stuff when it eventually releases. Which Dustin, do you happen to know when that's going to be?
Yeah, when's the target for that?
I do not know actually. I know that they're probably working a bit right now with the PlayStation 4 version of it that's coming out soon. But I know that they have been doing dev like documentary stuff for the making of this adventure mode. That is one of the things you get if you do the $55 pledge. You get like a soundtrack, the documentary, an in-game costume pack, which the costumes in this game are, I don't know who they have designing it, but they are doing an awesome job. Really great costumes. And then you also get like a poster pack and some other things too. It is a little pricey for $55, I think, but I'm thinking about doing it because I like watching those documentary type things, the making of. But yeah, I can't say for sure when the date is to expect this. I'm hoping sometime this year. Maybe we can put that in the show notes if we find out.
Right.
Yeah.
And maybe a link to the Humble Bundle sale.
Yeah, definitely.
I think people would appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm all for those development documentaries. It seems to be working